It's when I'm in hospital that I start dreaming, because there's nothing else you can do other than dream and try and get better. And this particular occasion, I lay in the bed in an isolation ward, dreaming about this journey I knew I had to take, because I had survived again, and I was still here. I can't really fly. It's really, really tricky. But I knew I had to go on this journey. So I saw the doctors, saw the consultants, and they just said, yeah, go. What have you got to lose? So we made a plan. We decided that that's where we were going to go, to this place that I knew I had to go to. And it was really quite tricky, because I wasn't sure whether I'd manage and how I'd cope, and there's no hospitals in this area, so it was going to be really difficult. Anyway, we got there, we landed, and that's when it really started. The journey began. We actually left the main town, and all of a sudden, all around me was the desert, everywhere. And I just breathed, and breathed, and breathed. And into my body, I just felt this most incredible strength. And all of a sudden, any fear or worry or anything just disappeared. It took about, I'm trying to think now, it was about 6 days. 6 days on roads, being jumped up and down, non-stop, vehicles breaking down, really, really terrible, dreadful for me, needle hurting, absolutely awful. But I had this goal, because we were going to go to this really, really important place that I needed to go to. And every so often we used to get outside the vehicle, and I'd just lie there in the sand. It's very, very rich coloured sand. It's not like sand that you get here. It's rich, it's beautiful. And as you hold it, it just like flows through your hands. It just flows like this really warm, wonderful thing. Anyway, finally, in the distance, I saw what I'd come to see. Put our bags in the hotel, and we went for a walk. And all of a sudden, I heard the mullah calling, come for prayer, come for prayer. And we went up to the mosque, we knocked on the door, and there we were, stood in Timbuktu, going in to a mosque that's just built out of sand. And it's been there for thousands of years, or it felt like it had been there for thousands of years. I just sort of felt the walls of the mosque as I stood outside it, and it was extremely hot, so hot that day. It was boiling, boiling, boiling hot. But the door opened. We said, "Assalamu alaikum," and they let us in. And as we went in, this just extraordinary cold air hit us. And it wasn't cold horrible, not like the coldness we get here. It was as if our bodies were just being cooled down and looked after. And inside this mosque, it's very, very thin corridors, but you just see streams of light filtering through. And it's almost like being on a chessboard, watching these different pools of light shining down. And I just stood there, underneath this pool of light, and I just said, I'm home. I've come home.